Okay, so I'm going to be putting my computer together here. So I got myself the ASUS ROG X570e gaming motherboard. Then I also have myself here a Ryzen 9 3900X. I also have here 32 gigs of G.SKILL Ripjaws V DDR4 and 3600 megahertz. I then also have a Samsung 970 EVO 500 gig for my storage. So let's go ahead and get this put together. First off, I'm going to start off with the CPU here. And let's just go and open up the clamshell. Then you have the CPU itself there. Just going to take it out. Then you're going to find the golden triangle, which is right there. And go and open up the retention arm right here. Then you're going to line it up with the triangle, which is right there on the motherboard. Then just kind of line it up. It should just drop in. Then just go ahead and put the retention arm down, and you have your CPU installed. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and do the RAM. So we're going to open up the slots right here. These are only single latch slots. So if they're double latched, I'd open up this side too, but this one's the only ones with latches on them. Then we're going to take out our memory. Going to line the notch up with the notch on the motherboard. And I'm going to be putting it in that slot and these two slots right there for optimal performance for this particular motherboard. And then you just kind of push down and it should click into place. Take our second stick here, line it up, push down, and it should click into place. And then we have our memory installed there. So now I'm going to go ahead and install my M.2 SSD on the motherboard here. So first we're going to take off these two screws right there. And then this plate should just come off. I'm going to be putting it in this top slot right here. So I'm going to remove these two screws right here. Then the plate here should just come right off. And that is our M.2 slot right there. We also have one right here, but I only have one SSD, so I'm just going to use this top one. We're going to take the little standoffs that come with your motherboard. Then we're going to put the standoff in this one right here. We take our SSD, line up the notch with the notch on the motherboard. Then we're going to take the screw and screw it down in. And once we have that all done, we'll just go and take our little heat spreader, heatsink there. We'll peel off the film, and then put it down on. And screw it down. Then we'll go and put the cover back on, reinserting the two screws. And now we're going to go ahead and install the cooler for the CPU here. So we're using just the box cooler for now, right now. The first thing that we're going to do there is go into the side, take the little cover off for the plug here, or the RGB, and we're going to plug in the RGB header onto that. And the other plug is there if you use the USB cable that comes with it. But we're using just the adjustable RGB header right there. So then we're going to go orient it like so. Put it down into place. Then we'll go and clip the one side on first. Then we're going to clip on the other side. And once we have both sides clipped in, just go and take the arm. Then it should just snap right over. Then we'll take our fan and plug it into one of the CPU fan headers. We're going to take our RGB header. It's going to route it around. We're going to plug it in to the RGB header on our motherboard right there. And then we have it all routed there. And that should be it for this part. Let's move on to the next part. Okay, so I got my case here and I'm going to go and start putting it on. So first thing I'm going to want to do here is go and remove the 2 screws for each of the side panels so I can take the side panels off. With those screws off, I will go and take the 2 side panels off of the hinges. Now with the side panels off, I am going to first install my power supply. And I'm going to install it fan up. Just goes in and it should just kind of slide into place. Okay, then we're going to take our screws to mount the power supply into place. Okay, now we're over here on this side over here. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is go and put our standoffs in the correct spot. This case comes with them pre-installed in the correct spots for ATX motherboards, which is what I'm using. So I should be good there. Then you're going to want to put your I/O shield in the back here. My motherboard comes with a pre-installed I/O shield, so I'm not going to put one in. Let's make sure all the cables are out of the way. And go and grab the motherboard. So here's the motherboard right here. Let's go. So I've discovered that this fan kind of gets in the way on getting it in. So I'm going to take that fan out first. Okay, we now have the fan out of the way there. So let's grab my motherboard here again. So it should just kind of go in, line it up. And it should just sit down in there. Okay, so now you're going to take the screws and screw in all of the standoffs. This case comes with a standoff pre-applied in that center one there. So I should be good there. Okay, so now I'm back here to the back and I'm going to start doing some cable management. This case has a little cable run right here with 2 screws to take off the little cover here. So you just got that one there. And then this one up here. Take both of those off. And this cover will come off. So first thing I'm going to want to do is pull all of these cables through and undo these zip ties. So the first cable I'm going to run here is going to be the 24 pin. I'm going to stick it through that one right there. I have the USB 3.0 header. Just going to go down here. I'll put up through there. The HD audio header here, which I'm going to also put up through here. All the front panel headers there, I'm also going to stick up through here. Then the USB-C connector, I'm going to put up through the middle one here, just below there. Then I'm also going to go and put my CPU power through the hole here. Then I'm going to put a SATA cable through right there. So now we're on the other side here. I'm going to start wiring everything up. I'm going to first start off the 24 pin right here. Then I'll take the USB-C right there. Just plugs in right there. Then I'll take our SATA. Just have it plug in right there. Then let's take our HD audio right there. It's going to come over here and plug in to the HD audio header right there in the corner there. Then we got our USB 3. It's right there. Gonna take all of our front panel headers and plug them in here. Then we are going to take our 8-pin CPU here, plug it in. Then let's go ahead and get my GPU installed here. First, I'm going to need to remove these two covers here. Then also make sure the latch is down on the motherboard there. Then I'm going to just simply slot the GPU in, like so. Should click in. Then go and reinsert the thumb screws. Then I'll go and take 8-pin GPU power here and plug it in. And I'm going to apply a zip tie here, just kind of keep that cable out of the way, make it look a little nicer. So let's go ahead and move back to the other side. Okay, now that we're back here, let's start a little bit on the cable management. Okay, with some cable management there done, let me go ahead and move on to installing the hard drive. So let's go pull out the sled here. Then it just slides out once you remove the thumb screw there. And because I don't want my hard drive being upside down, I'm actually going to remove all of these little toolless grommets here. Which you can do by just kind of popping out the middle. And then the rubber grommet just comes out. Includes little rubber grommets here that you install there, 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 and then here. Then I'm going to take my hard drive here, and it's going to go into the drive bay like so. Then we will screw it in with these little screws that it comes with. Then once you have all the screws in place, it's simply... But actually, before I go and plug it in, or before I go and put it all the way in, I'll take it out first so I can plug in these cables a little easier. So you got the SATA power, SATA cable, it goes right there, and I'll take the SATA power, it goes like so, and just simply slots back in. I'll reinstall the thumb screw. Then let's go ahead and route these cables. Okay, so let's go ahead and also get my fans all set up here. So first, I got myself some different fans that are going in. So let me go take these two thumb screws out. So I can take the front fan panel out. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this fan. And I'm going to take my Noctua NF-A15s here and let's mount them up. So we're going to line up screws there. Okay, so we got one fan there in, so let's get the other one installed. Okay, there we go. Now I have the second fan installed there. Now let's do a bit of wiring. So I'm gonna actually end up plugging this Y splitter here. Taking my extension there, plugging it into there. Back into place. Then reinstall the thumb screws. Then I'm going to take this wire here and then feed that through the back over here. And while I'm here, let's go and take the top two thumb screws for the top fan cover. Then I'm going to install one of my pre-included 120mm fans there. Okay, so we have that fan there. And let's go ahead, slot this back in, and reinstall the thumb screws. And then I'm going to plug this fan right here to this fan header. Now I'm going to take this fan and wire it up to this fan header down here on the motherboard. So we're going to plug our front panel header, we're going to plug our two fans in the front there into our fan headers right down here. Then officially you have it all together here.